What's going on, fellas? Back again with another educational video on the series today. This is a hot topic in bodybuilding. Well, first off, I want to say I hope you guys like the ChatGPT generated thumbnail. This is actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I got my face and everything pretty good. Made even my veins pop. Maybe appeared. Maybe had some more appear, but I'm not complaining. But anyways, topic of the video today is how to budget your calories. What I mean by this is if you have an event or something where you're not going to be able to track, how to effectively manage your caloric intake for that specific day or even week if you're going on vacation to adhere to your needs to the best of your ability. So if you're trying to stay as locked in as possible, this video is for you. You could either earn more calories, save more calories. There's different methods and different ways to go about it. But first off, disclaimer, don't take your caloric budgeting to the extreme where you're going on a week-to-week basis, like you're not eating 2 days out of the week and then binging the other 5. No, that's not how it works. It's just fine-tuning adjustments, very small adjustments to your caloric intake in order to adhere to your goals, like I said. And yes, we're on the walking pad. Let's do a little step check. It's 1:42 as I'm recording this, and I'm currently at 11,393 steps. So we're on track. We never miss a day, but let's get right into the video. So what is it? Essentially, it's distributing your calories in 2 ways to maximize adherence and keep you on track toward your goals. So again, like I said, if you're going out to eat later, let's use that example. We're just going to continuously use that throughout the entire duration of the video. If you're going out to eat later and you want to stick to your caloric goals, there's different ways to go about it in order to ensure that you are adhering to them to the best of your ability. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be better than doing nothing. Something's always better than nothing in these terms. So there's ways that you can mitigate the bloat. I would not recommend going that binge restrict cycle. This is simply just to enjoy your life whilst also staying on track. All right, let's get into the different ways to budget. This slide is really just slop. It took me 2 seconds to make this particular slide. I mean, this slide's not that long, but it's very informative. So if you guys want to watch one video that's quick, it'll give you a lot of information, tap into this one. So TDE budgeting, so total daily energy expenditure budgeting. So what it does is basically just doing extra expenditure to allow for more calories. So if you typically walk 10,000 steps in a day, let's use that example, and you walk 15,000, you burn more calories. Your maintenance is therefore higher, so you need to eat more in order to stay at that maintenance level. Therefore, you get to eat more. Obviously, you can't go into the extreme because of the energy constriction model, which I'll talk about in a second. I think the next slide. So don't go crazy about it. But for more calories to be consumed, basically you just up your expenditure. So for instance, it could be as simple as I'm doing 10,000 steps, and if you want it to be the same amount of steps, same amount of time, go on an incline. Burns twice the amount of calories if you're on an 8% incline. Obviously, that varies from person to person, but it's just generalized. 2,000 calories for an 8% incline as opposed to just walking flat. There's so many ways to go about this. If you guys have any questions about this, ask them in the Discord or the comments. I'll be sure to answer because there's a lot of nuance that comes into play, but I'm just giving you guys some ideas in different ways. There's probably ideas I'm not even talking about. So the energy constriction model. Now this is a very interesting model. So we have our NEAT, which is our non-exercise activity thermogenesis. I think that's what it is, stands for, but essentially what it is, your body doesn't always treat those calories burned from activity as extra calories. What this means is when activity increases, the body's going to compensate by downregulating other bodily functions to adhere to a relatively sane for your body total daily energy expenditure, meaning that it's not just going to every calorie. So let's say you walk 100,000 steps. It's not going to be the same. That 90 to 100,000 steps, that 10,000 is not going to be the same 0 to 10,000 because your body's compensating. It's really fatigued. It's really tired. Obviously, that's an extreme example. Do not walk 100,000 steps. I've been seeing people on TikTok do it. It's just stupid. And I guess you just don't have a job or you just want to walk all day, go for it. But not smart, not consistent, not sustainable for a long period of time. So don't do that. But basically, as you can see by this graph, we have the non-exercise expenditure, which is basically your basal metabolic rate, and then the NEAT, like I just talked about, will go down, and then your physical activity expenditure will plateau. So you see how it's just going like this, up, and just plateauing. So basically, to sum this all up, the increase in total daily energy expenditure can be smaller than calories burned through exercise alone. You're not going to be able to burn the same amount of calories based on expenditure from doing the like the back end 10,000 steps and the 100,000 versus the front 10,000, because your body's just gonna find ways to like down regulate. And this could get really important, especially if you've been dieting consistently for weeks. Kind of going on a tangent here, if you've been dieting for like 12 weeks, your body's gonna down regulate your actual maintenance. So let's say at the start of the diet, your maintenance was 3,500. Obviously, if you lose weight, you're a smaller individual, your maintenance is going to be smaller. But if your maintenance was like 3,500, that's a really high maintenance. And then you're the same exact weight, same exact activity level, or you raise the activity level like crazy, your body's going to down regulate, and it's not going to be able to maintain it's not going to be able, you could like literally manipulate your maintenance that way because of the amount of fatigue, the energy expenditure. It's just a recipe for disaster. So you got to be careful with how much like energy you're actually expending. Most of us are completely fine. If you're going upwards of 50,000 steps, that's when I'm going to stop you and be like, bro, what are you doing? But this is basically the energy constriction model. That was kind of confusing. I hope that made sense, but if it didn't, just ask in the comments, I'll clarify anything. So then another way is protein front loading, fat back loading, meaning a lot of the meals that you typically have, like if you're going out to eat, are like moderate carb, lower protein, really high fat. So what you're going to want to do is eat a lot of your protein in the beginning of the day. One, it's going to satiate you, and two, it'll keep you like locked in because you're hitting your protein goal pretty much. And then fast if you can, because fasting will allow you to have a smaller eating window, less chance to like mess up your day. I mean, it's only one day essentially, or even a week. It's not going to be the craziest thing. So fast for the couple hours of the day. If you normally eat breakfast, just skip it if it's within reason. Obviously use your best judgment. So fat backloading, protein front loading. So if I were to go out to eat, let's say, I would save 1,500 calories of mainly carbs and fats, and have most of my protein, like 80% of it, just ticked off, so I could enjoy it and fully lock in. Obviously it's not going to be perfect, but it's better than doing nothing, like I said. Lastly, just enjoy yourself. You don't even have to do these. It's just to maximize potential and maximize that adherence to being locked in your caloric needs, especially if you're on prep. You're going to follow something to a T, but if you're not on prep, it does not matter. Literally one day off plan is not the end of the world. Even 1 week, not the end of the world. It's just maximizing your progress. I'm not saying that you're not going to make progress if you don't do this, but this is just the way to maximize it and stay on track, assuming that your plan is allowing you to optimize your gains or your progress in the long run. So, and then sometimes a nuance, if you're super stressed in like a super stressed state, meaning you're fatiguing yourself, you're doing so many steps, you're doing so much energy, you're just mentally really high cortisol due to this, it's good to de-stress and kind of let your body like decompensate. Because I remember times when I was dieting where I'd go out to eat and have a cheat meal after hard dieting for like 8 weeks straight, no cheat meal. I'd wake up lighter because my body just is like a furnace. I just use that as fuel. But anyways, I hope this helped. If you guys have any questions, this was a pretty quick video, leave them in the comments. It's only gonna be like a 7-minute video, but leave them in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, code Longo and EKKOVISION, 30% off right now. Definitely will not be when this video's up, but hey, it's the last day as of right now. And then LONGOLIFTS on Gympin. Get yourself a Gympin seatbelt, anything. Or also EKKOVISION seatbelt. Keenan just had a partnership with them. That seatbelt looks sick, so tap into that. And then the Discord's always in the description if you guys want to join. We're at about like 80 members right now, which is peak. Getting more active. Still want to have a lot of people joining. And then also coaching might be starting soon. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. You can send me a DM on Discord or just send it in the comments if you really want to put it out in there in the comments. But there is a link somewhere in my link tree about the form, so I'm going to be gauging how many people fill that out, and then based on that I'll see if I want to really start getting going with this coaching. But hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.